All right, this was maybe one of the easiest podcasts to line up I've ever had. From like talking to you the first time to this happening has been like a week. There's been no flirting, nothing. It's just straight into it.
Pretty efficient.
It is very efficient.
I'd like to work that way.
So for everyone wondering, this is Jase Shore.
Yes.
Jason, short for Jason?
No, just Jase.
Just Jase.
Yep.
So he's going to tell the story a lot better than me. Years ago, there was a case in Sydney of a madman with a knife, and a man and was it two other people with you?
There were several other people, man.
Several other people apprehended the man, and you placed a milk crate on his head and detained him.
That's right.
Which is maybe the funniest way to get a citizen's arrest.
I think it's very Australian.
It's the most Australian way of like apprehending someone of all time. So can you give us we won't, like, you've probably talked about this a million times.
Let's go.
So what happened?
So basically, I'd moved to Adelaide and I was here for about 9-10 months, and the company that I was working for was Coca-Cola, and one of the employees I was working in a small team, and we were doing some pretty cool stuff for the alcohol business side of Coke. And one of the guys from Sydney was leaving, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my hand up there. I was born and bred Sydney, so it was nice to sort of like make my way back home. At this point, I'd sort of travelled a little bit through Australia and lived in a couple of places. So making it home was kind of like one of those bucket lists for me to get back. And I was on a handover, so it was the first day doing a handover with the new guy, and we just finished a lunch meeting. The lunch meeting kind of went over. It was just one of those days where just timings were really out, and I'm kind of big on getting timings right, like trying to be really efficient with times. And then, we came down into one of the streets in Sydney, and we're sitting in traffic, and come up to the set of lights, and we're just waiting for the lights to come on. Pretty busy day. It was about lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and then I was just talking to my wife on the phone and through text, and was having a chat with a guy in the car, and he was just like, holy shit. And I looked up, and there was a balaclava man, and he stabbed a woman in the back. So big kitchen knife, really large blade, had just hit this woman in the back. And my initial reaction was to jump out of the car and chase the guy. So it was split second, jumped out of the car. The driver of the car, he mounted the gutter, and I was like, where the fuck are you going? Like, I'm half hanging out of the car as this guy's kind of driving to fucking people walking across the road. And I'm like, dude, like, and I remember looking back at him, and I was just like, I'll be back. Like, and then ran off after this bloke.
And do you know, was it a random, like, was he just a fucking maniac, or was there like a motive behind it, or? Yeah,
look, he had a history of some mental health issues, but I think anyone that stabs anyone's got a fucking history of mental health issues. You know, just a normal person just doesn't go fucking stabbing people in the back. But as far as what we knew by the end of it, that he'd only hit the woman in the back with a knife, because we'd sort of chased him across a few streets through Sydney. And afterwards, we sort of found out that he had some mental health issues, and like clearly he was pretty cooked. So there was when I ran up the road, so next to the car there was a fire truck, and behind the fire truck was a car that had 7 News on it. But I didn't notice that at the time. It was only afterwards that I sort of noticed the 7 News car. But as I got up to the top of the street, he's standing on top of a car in the middle of King and Clarence. And I'm kind of like, there's a cameraman walking around with a fucking thing, and there's like heaps of people surrounding this car. And I'm like, am I interrupting like a fucking television show, or like what the fuck's going on? So like this guy's screaming out this shit, and it's the weirdest scenario. Like you never see it here in Australia, especially. So you kind of like took a minute to sort of let it sink in, and he jumped off the car and ran down the street, and there's still this like cameraman running after this dude. So like I'm hesitant to sort of like get more involved in what's going on. I'm trying to assess like my steps and what's happening. And he stopped in the middle of the road on Clarence, and that's when he had a satchel, and he reached into his satchel, and he's going, Allahu Akbar, with military deployment and seeing lots of videos and lots of things for training with that sort of stuff. It's kind of like, fuck, like you can hide a fucking claymore in a satchel like that. And That's gonna do
You
some
didn't
fucking
know the
serious damage.
severity of the situation.
Well, I know he's going to pull out. Like,
Yeah.
he's got a knife, but has he got a gun? Has he got a grenade? Has he got, explosives? Like, we didn't know. Like, had no idea. And only like not long before that, weeks before or months before, was the London attacks, and there was a lot of people shot and killed through that. But there was multiple attackers. So seeing a guy do that and then sort of sit back and go, okay, we're facing him. He's reaching into a satchel. Is there anybody else? So you're kind of fucking scanning around, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on and trying to piece it together and go, okay, this is serious. So that's when it sort of kicked off and we started chasing him down the street.
It's a wild thing when situations like this happen. And I understand when you see videos of, say, like the bloke in, I think there was 2 youths or someone in a Sydney shopping mall recent, like within the last year, that was fucking wielding a machete, or 2 kids or something. I think it was actually happened in Adelaide, in Marion, pretty recently as well,
Yeah.
I think. But you always see the videos and, like, a lot of people in the comments, of course, it's always the comments like, fucking weak dogs, don't fucking pull up to them. Like, it would be very, you're obviously used to trained for confrontation, being a vet, or having deployments in Iraq and stuff. You're trained for this kind of situation. The everyday civilian is not. So you can't fault people for not helping. Like, do you know what I mean? Unless you're seeing a child or a woman get like viciously hurt, you kind of, I feel like you're obliged to fucking step in. But if it's just a cunt wielding like a machete and no one's like, oh, everyone's in danger but no one is getting physically hurt at the time, I don't put shit on people for not stepping in.
Dude, that's one of the biggest ones. Like, there's so many people that said to me, I'd have fucking done this, I'd have fucking done that.
No, you wouldn't. No.
And I'm like, unfortunately, man, like, there was like at Sydney at 1 o'clock on a fucking Tuesday, or I can't remember, Wednesday, like, there's upwards of almost 1 million people running around, right? Work and all that sort of stuff. And in that area, the King and Clarence Street, 1 o'clock at lunchtime, you've got a couple of thousand people that are running around. There was 5, 6 of us that ran after this bloke, and no one else did anything. And that's not to say that, like, that's wrong, because you live with fight or flight. And I always say to people, you fucking run. Like, if I was there with my family,
10 times out of 10 you're bailing on that.
I don't think I'm running towards this dude with my kids around, because I want to make sure my kids and my wife are safe. That's my first priority, number one. My second priority is everybody else, but first is them, and then it's everybody else, and then it's me. So that's how I run my life. But I've kind of had that mentality anyway. But I think with the training, fucking military trains you really well. Like, if you either get into it, you can be a shit fucking person in the military and just skate on through, or you can actually live it and actually understand it and work with it, and it seeps in, and they do a good job of actually rebuilding you as a person to sort of react in a moment. And that's what that reaction is. And the thing was, man, like, Jamie Ingram, he was ex-military, so he's got that training in him to sort of react. We've got the fireys who've been in a whole lot of stuff. A couple of those boys have got experience with other things as well, so like they're used to that reaction.
Yeah.
And the everyday person, it's, they can say a lot afterwards.
A lot of people think they're a lot more capable than they really are.
100%.
Because, like, I've just gotten back to it now, but I used to train, like, pretty extensively in fucking combat sports. And, like, people think they're way more equipped than they are. People who have never been in, like, really true violent situations don't how violent some people can be.
That's so true, dude. Dude. Even dudes that just go to the gym and lift weights, they're like, oh, I'm tough. No. You're strong, and that's okay.
But you're big for nothing, really.
It doesn't mean that you can fight.
It's not functional.
Yeah.
Like, there are dudes, there is a 16-year-old kid where I go that would fuck up a 27-year-old prime male gym junkie.
100%.
Like, not even fuck him up, like he would land he would literally be able to kill them. Like, if it came down to it, he would be able to kill them. And you would, like, he's the sweetest Filipino kid, and you just wouldn't know.
It's always the Filipinos.
It's always the Filipinos. But that's one thing that, like, I don't know if it saved me, but, like, I used to walk around with a big fucking dick on my shoulder because I'm of ethnic background, and a lot of my friends were of ethnic background. We used to roll in fucking squads of 20. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you do when you're younger.
Safety in numbers.
You get that, exactly. You get that, like, false sense of, you think you're a bit of a tough cunt, and then you go into a gym one day, and you get the shit kicked out of you by someone you probably would have bullied in high school,
100%.
and you're like, oh no, and then a girl bashes you,
Yeah.
and then you're like, what the fuck, and like it's just so it makes you way less prone to going out and starting a fight
Humbles you.
because you realize, oh no, like this cunt could just kill me.
Like I've done some training in combat sports. I'm not a professional or anything like that, but I love it. It's one of the best things for my mental health is to go and fucking smash a bag and
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Nothing like that. There's something really good about that, and it's sparring.
You
and
feel
all that
better
stuff.
after.
Fuck, and you come together too at the end of it. So like we go. If anyone hasn't trained at a gym, I recommend just going, man, because the community is beautiful. It's unreal. You get a sense of it. But get a leg kick, like get someone to give you a leg kick. If you haven't trained and you like
Just a
thinking
little
about
one.
it,
Just
or if
a
you think
little
it's
one.
tough, get a little leg kick from someone, even when they're wearing pads, and they're like, then you'll understand what it's like. And if you get that in the streets with someone not wearing pads, holy fuck, man! Like, if you're not used to it.
I haven't trained properly for like a year and a half, 2 years, and I held pads. Me and one of my mates bounced around last week, and we were doing some Thai pads. And he's pretty fucking big, but he's fucking so fit, and he's so good at Muay Thai. And my mate Josh, he used to fight, and I held pads for him, and he's considerably bigger than me. Holding the pads killed me 25 times more than training, and I haven't trained in ages. I did 5 like pretty hard rounds of pads, which that's fucking like gut wrenching when you haven't trained for ages. And I just held pads for him, and he dropped me with I just held the kick shield, and he fucking just kicked it, and it felt like someone just punched me in the liver. I was fucked. But a lot of people who don't do that, they see these events like of these machete wielding people or these like just any attack on like society, and they're like, fucking if I was there, I would have done this.
Yeah.
Nah, fucking no, you wouldn't have.
But the thing is, I think and how I look at it is that during my deployment, I saw a lot of shit, but there was a specific point that I accepted death. And you don't ever come back from that. Like once you've fucking seen it and you looked into another man's eyes who's accepted death at the same time, and you're looking at each other and you live that, like, I think that's when you can run into those situations and you can do that. And the boys who I served with, they said, fuck, I would have loved it if they were there together, and we could have done more, we could have been quicker and that sort of stuff. Hindsight again. But I know that the boys that I served with and the boys that are, that have served, especially overseas, like they'd have been fucking there in a minute. Like they all would have put their life on the line, because you do that. You do that for your brother next to you,
Well,
no matter what.
that's at the end of the day, the Australian military and any military's job's to protect its people before anything.
Yeah.
Like the reason you're supposed to be there is to protect the Australian. Like that's the main thing of it all.
100%,
protect
dude.
Australian. Even though it may get masqueraded with fucking, maybe we want to just steal their oil.
Well,
like
the politicians, the politics of the politicians, right?
They got a pretty big opium field. Let's fucking go occupy. But at the end of the day, like the whole gist of it is to protect your country. So I feel like even when you're not on deployment or you're not active in the military, you still have that like ingrained in you to protect the Australian people.
100%. I think I just live like that anyway. Like I've intervened with a few things that haven't become, anything other than just like me just telling someone to get the fuck away from someone, or seeing a dude aggressive to a woman and whatnot, and just getting in between that to make sure that woman's safe and in these scenarios. So I kind of put myself in that situation, and not for the hero status. Like I just I fucking ran away from once the police come in and did the fucking shit job of coming in. I ran. I got back to the boy that I'd fucking left in the car to make sure that he was okay. I went back along the scene because Mert he'd shoved his knife in towards cars, and I don't know. There was one time when he shoved it into one of these cars. It was an Asian fella sitting in the driver's seat, and he was unaware that this fucking dude had a knife, and there was a gap in the window, and he plunged it through that. He swiped at people sitting at cafes and stuff, and so I ran back to sort of see if there was anything happening with that, because the response from the cops took fucking forever. And then I was like, what about all the people that could have been hurt along the way? So it was just because I knew the route and what we'd done. and remembered it. I was like, fuck, I'm going to go see if everyone's okay. And then got back to the boys and we just fucked off to a pub and had a beer.
Yeah, right.
And it wasn't like I turned my phone off. I rang my wife and I said, oh, something's just happened. And I rang work just to tell work. I said, look, I've just been involved in an incident. So just so you know, I'm taking the rest of the day off. I'll be back at work tomorrow. And it wasn't till the next morning because I switched my phone off. And then my wife rang me and said, oh, Michaela Dunn had been murdered. She'd been beheaded. So like, well, she didn't know that. She said that Michaela Dunn, a girl had been murdered. So I think you should go put a witness statement through. Because I knew that the guys that had helped apprehend him were there, and I was like, what the fuck do I need to give a statement for? Like, we took this dude down. There's fucking 5-6 other guys here. There's enough evidence for that. He unfortunately hit a woman in the back, but like, there's enough of that evidence to go through, so I don't want to be involved in it. But then it wasn't until finding out that she'd been murdered, and then the severity to that was pretty intense. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, our sponsors for this video, Outlaw Media on Instagram, all of the breaking underworld news of Australia. You can also go and follow his podcast on YouTube, Word on the Street, for all of the breaking news about all the crime going on around Australia. And for all of my people that can't breathe, go to breatheeasy.com.au. That's breatheeze.com.au. Use code SESH at checkout for 15% off. Support the podcast. It is fantastic. I can't sleep without them anymore. So go ahead and do that, and make sure to follow Outlaw Media on Instagram. Thank you. Enjoy the pod. Do you, off camera, before you said that there is a certain high that you obviously learned from the military that is very hard to replace for that like brief, or for that what it would have felt like a fucking lifetime at the time, but I'm sure it was a very brief kind of, in the span of time, like a brief situation. Did that scratch that itch?
Yeah, the ramifications of that actually really exacerbated a lot of the hidden shit that I'd had with PTSD through the time that I served. So kind of when he was reaching to the satchel and me just thinking, fuck, what's going on? What's he got? What's going to happen? How close am I? What's he got? And the danger area for how close we were to him. And I was thinking, if he pops something off right now, I'm pretty much fucked. So in that moment, it was kind of like just a quick prayer, like, love my kids, love my wife, tell them I love them.
What you mentioned before, that you came, like, when you were in service, you came very close to death, or you came to the realization that this is probably the fucking end of the road. And there is something to say about that, like you said before, about how once you have one of those moments, you kind of let go of fear almost.
Yeah, you chase that adrenaline, man.
There's I don't know if you're very familiar with the UFC. It's very hard to compare fighting with like war, because war is for keeps.
Similarities,
but
though.
if there is any sport that like show, MMA is one of the only sports in the world where you really find out who you are as a man in there. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, even just having a fucking hard spar with someone.
The ramifications might not be death, but you are giving hours and days of your life every fight. And there is an iconic fight with Kevin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya, who is from New Zealand. Have you seen that fight?
Probably.
Israel Adesanya's a really, really
I know he is.
Yeah, or is he? And then Kevin Gastelum's like a short, fat Mexican dude.
Yeah.
And it was Israel Adesanya and him fighting for a title, and it was the 5th round, and it was a back and forth. Like, they were fucked up. Izzy was fucked up. He was so fucked up. And there is an iconic moment in the 5th round before it starts, where Israel Adesanya's in his corner and the camera goes on him and he's just whispering, I'm ready to fucking die, I'm ready to fucking die, I'm ready to like, yes. It gives me chills talking about it. It's like, I'm willing to fucking die in here, are you? And they just went, it was one of those beautiful moments where two people just gave every inch of their body. And it just, like, you can tell that changed their lives forever, those fights. That fight just shot Izzy up. Kevin Gastelum just went down from it because he ended up losing the fight. But like, after situations like you experienced, that's the only thing I could attribute, like, in my head, kind of attribute it to.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially with MMA at that level, like, you're putting everything on the line. Like, you are, like,
they're gladiators.
I'm actually fucking surprised that no one's really died from some of the shit that goes on in there. Like, it's pretty intense, and watching how those boys fight at that elite level.
They're proper proper, like, whatever the fucking time ago it was, they would be in the Coliseum.
Oh man,
Like
100% gladiator shit.
They are modern day fucking not boxers, Muay Thai fighters maybe, but MMA fighters
All rounders, man.
are just fucking modern day gladiators. What was, if you don't mind talking about it, of course, if you don't want to, that's fine. What was the whole situation with you on deployment looking at that man?
In that situation, so funnily enough, like you go through different, you have a roster, so you sort of do QRF, quick response, you sit in the guard box, you sit upstairs, like you do a sort of routine, and you get to downtime when you're on QRF, so you got to be quick, ready to go, and that's your kind of downtime. And we had a gym just behind the embassy in Baghdad, and just a fucking tin shed with some cool weights in it. It was American. It was attached to the American hospital, so they had some pretty cool equipment. Good enough for where we were. One of the boys had come over from another part of Baghdad to come over and join us for some what we were doing, because we were based in the embassy for quite a long time. They normally split, but we were just there running the same stuff. Anyway, we went to the gym and doing a workout, and every day for probably the first 4 or 5 months, we were bombed indirect with mortars and rockets 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Like it was consistent. Like you were just constantly like ready for an explosion. Boom, 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 boom. And all they were trying to do, the enemy people were trying to like bomb the hospital to try and get mass casualties. Hitting, and because we were so close, that's what they were aiming for. So we were getting fucking bomb, mortars, rockets, all that sort of shit coming in at the time. And we hadn't heard anything for a good couple of weeks. And working out, and then there's this fucking boom. And I knew straight away, I was like, fuck, rocket, mortar, like we're on. And then looked at the other guy, and he didn't know what was going on. And I was like, we got to fucking go. We got to get into a bunker, because we were just in like a fucking tin shed, like this like small tin shed. So we went to run at the front door, and then fucking boom, like right in the car park there, it just fucking explodes. So we fucking zip back through the other side of the gym to go at the back. And there was some like a couple of small 2-story buildings either side of the exit. And we couldn't get through the door to that, and there was explosions happening, boom, boom, just around us. Like it was just constant, just fucking boom, boom, boom. And then the only place that we could hide was between this brick wall and like these 2 brick walls. And one was like a freestanding brick wall, and there was a gap you could fit just fit a guy into. And we were I went one side of the footpath, and he went the other side of the footpath. And part of the fucking wall's falling down on top of us, and there's fucking explosions just going back so close. Like it was like, looked at him, and I was just like, this is it. Like, we're not going home. And I looked at him, and he looked at me with the same thing in it. And I in that moment, it was weird, because I was just like, in my head, we couldn't speak to each other because it was so loud. But in my head, I said to him, I was like, tell my family I love them. And yeah, man. And it felt so quick, but it felt so long. And it was almost like waking back up, because my eyes come back up, and I'm like, fuck, it was come out of it, and the bombs had stopped. And I was like, okay, so we fucking get all the fucking bricks and shit off us, and all this shit, and we kind of climb out of these fucking little holes. And just behind us, there was this big tanker, and it was filled with fuel, but it was diesel, and it was just fucking pissing out with diesel. But it hadn't ignited, man, because it wasn't a fucking ignite for the diesel. And I mean, if that had gone off, man, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I would be, on the pages, man. So like that moment was pretty deep, because we went back, and Smithy, he was never the same dude. I remember he was charismatic, he was funny, he was doing it. But like, if he fucking listens to this podcast, like, I'm sorry, man, to bring this back up, but like, yeah, he changed.
It definitely, like we were talking about off camera, like PTSD with everything, not even with just obviously like that level of extremeness, because you can get PTSD from something a lot less severe than that. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like a lot of people handle things so differently to other people. Like Like I was saying, like I saw that Rob Langdon dude. He's the most fucking laid back. He spent 7 years in an Afghan jail, like as a essentially private military contractors. To my fucking knowledge of speaking to a couple of them now, they're the fucking cowboys of fucking Afghanistan, dude. They are living that. They're living the fucking things you see in like the movies. Like their stuff's very crazy. But he was just so solid. But then you talk to someone who may have only got deployed for fucking X amount and only seen X amount of action, and that might fuck them up severely. Like, you just don't know.
Well, dude, man, when we were based in Southern Iraq, because I was initially deployed to a Southern Iraq, and we were...
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
I feel weird when they say, I know, like, I shouldn't, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's one of those ones where I feel weird about.
You should be proud of it. You should be... I admire anyone who's willing to do that. It's fucking crazy. Any country, and every country is just fucking going under orders. Like, I've always forgotten to ask people this. Sorry for cutting you off. You were telling a story before. Do you have any true ill will towards the people you're fighting?
Dude.
Because at the end of the day, their bosses are just telling them the opposite of what your bosses are.
They think they're right and we think we're right.
So do you hold like an ill will towards them?
Look, it's really hard because you could frame this in a way of coming across as being like, insensitive to culture. But some of the things that I saw when I was around that I'd seen a lot of the people do, and we're talking probably, civilian and whatnot, but some of the stuff that I saw, like...
It's a different culture, isn't it?
Man, and that's where like the sort of the immigration thing comes into Australia, what's happening now. It's a fucking scary thing, and I think there's a lot of people who are advocating for it to be like, they've got to make this movement, and it's got to happen. But it's like making different cultures assimilate.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work
in a small minorities and in different ways, like what your family would have come from. They came here to work. They came here to
assimilate to Australian culture.
And that's and I grew up with that. Like I grew up with Lebanese, Greek, fucking Russian, like a whole bunch of dudes, Vietnamese, Chinese. Fuck, man. We were multicultural as fuck back when I was
Muslims, Christians,
dude, it didn't
Buddhists,
matter.
fucking
My stepfather
anything.
was fucking Lebanese. Like my mum was Kiwi. She was white as they come as well. But yeah, man, when you go and see some of the stuff that you see, and then you understand, especially with the extreme sort of stuff that goes on, that they can bring that home. And to some point, when Mert was doing what he's doing, I'm like, you're going to see more of that in a higher way. And then what you said earlier with the guys running around with machetes and stuff, man, this is Sudanese. Like, they were, coming from, I'm not saying that all Sudanese are bad, but it's like they're coming from a culture that sort of stuff's normal, man. So like trying to...
You got a problem with someone, we're going to have a big fucking problem.
Dude, 100%,
Because it's like the situation of either I'm going home alive, or they're in a fight or flight fucking 85% of their life.
Yeah.
A lot of people are lucky to be in it for 5% in a Western country.
But the ones that are born here and make that excuse, there's no fucking excuse. That's like,
that's the thing.
There's a lot of people, similarly to myself, that I think we're quiet for a long time, but I think when shit hits the fan, there's a lot of people who will stand up against that sort of shit, and it'll be pretty heavy-handed because I know a lot of boys. I talk to a lot of boys that I've served with and ex-servicemen from that I haven't served with, and it won't stand.
Do you follow a lot of Australian military people?
Not as much as I should.
After my podcast with Rob, this bloke liked and made a comment, and I went on his page, and his name is Skojo. Skojo Sir or something Skojo, and he's an Australian. He's young. He's pretty. I think he's like a bit older than me, and he's overseas, and he is just so in love. He loves being in the army, and he loves Australia, and he post some wild Saint Skojo, bro. I don't have that fucking screen on because I took it upstairs, but one sec.
He's got to get it on.
Sorry, I had to put my thing on charge. But yeah, Saints Gojo. If you can go on there, he's very like. So one thing that this leads to is I was watching this show. It's a hell. It's weird that this is even a thought to me. There's this show, Physical 100. It's like
Yeah, I've seen that. The Korean one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one with Robert Whittaker on it? So the new season,
No.
the newest season is teams based, and they got an Australian team, and Robert Whittaker's the leader in it.
Fuck yeah.
And they all in the first game were carrying their flags, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're carrying the flag! Why the fuck should that be exciting to me? Like, why in Australia?" And I fucking hate. I don't give a fuck who gets offended. Why the fuck am I surprised to see our flag being withheld at a standard that we are allowed to like our country?
Yeah. Fuck, you know what?
How fucking crazy is that? At the fucking pro-Palestine marches, they were fucking burning the Australian. Why do you have to burn the Australian flag at a fucking pro-Palestine march?
And you know what? It's some fucking Australian. He doesn't
It's
know
some
anything better
blue.
than...
It's some fucking blue-haired fucking weirdo that's never been out of fucking Melbourne. That's what it is. It's just some person, some young kid that's never travelled, never experienced any culture at all, and they're the fucking ones with the 99% of those fucking crowds are white.
You know what? Go over there.
Yeah, go over
like,
there.
serve for your have you served your country? Like, I guarantee you that none of those people have fucking served their country or deployed for their country.
But they're fine when you do. But they're fine for you to do it.
But you know what they're fine with? They're fine with if something happens, like an attack,
you
like
got their
Mertney,
back.
that someone like me will come out of the fucking shadow of whatever and just fucking run after some dude, maniac with a knife, and protect them. They'll be the first to call the cops to help fucking, in a situation.
But we should defund the police.
But we should defund the police. We should fucking get rid of the Australian flag. What the fuck am I saying? Like, it's just it's really fucking. It's just hypocritical when I see that shit, and I'm just like, you know what? I fucking serve for that country. I serve for that flag, and when they do that, it's like,
And thank you for your service.
thanks, dude.
You do hate that, don't you?
Oh, you know what? I don't know what it is,
Do
man.
do you do the whole kit and caboodle on Anzac Day?
I got my suit. I put my shit on. I go do respect, and I pay respect for the boys that I lost over there. The past, present, like everyone that's serving now, everyone that has served, and especially the ones that have passed for our country. And that's why I rock up. I rock up with my medals, not to present myself, but to present for
Your friends.
Yeah, friends. Like, when you join the military and you serve, you just become a part of this brotherhood. It's with you for life. I have, like, it's crazy, man. You'll have boys that'll message you and you haven't heard from them for fucking years, and they'll ask for help and you go and help them, and then vice versa. You'll go, hey man, I need some help. And you wouldn't have spoken to them for so long, man. And you just jump to help them.
This is why I started this pod. Like, you live fucking 5 minutes from me, and I just would have never have known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Adelaide has such, like, Rob Langdon. He fucking spent 7 years in a jail. I've, like, gotten some of these people that I used to fucking train with or that I've known for years are now, like, some of the best jiu-jitsu athletes in the world, and just no one would fucking know.
Yeah.
Like, no one would know. Everyone just...
Living in their bubbles, man.
Living in their fucking bubbles.
But I think the thing about that is, like, I live in my bubble, man. Like I said, when I ran away from the thing, it's not. I didn't want to be part of that. Like, I did what I got to do, help the people that I got to help, and it wasn't because it's not a courageous act to run away. It was just because, like, I just want to go back to my family.
Do you have, like, every ex-veteran or every veteran I know of, all of them have had a different relationship with firearms post-military? Do you have a different relation? Do you have like a love for firearms or anything like that?
Nah, growing up in Bankstown, I saw a fucking fair few of it.
You grew up in Bankstown.
Yeah, man.
2200, is it?
Greenacre.
Really? You grew up fucking around. You were in the thick of it.
90s, man. It was
Bro,
fucking...
you were in Bankstown in the 90s.
Yeah, bro. Like, fucking, as white as I was back then, man, I was hanging out with some pretty bad lebs, some pretty bad white boys.
So people in Adelaide, I lived in Sydney briefly and I have family from Sydney. You cannot compare those areas to Elizabeth or like Morphettvale. People try and come down here and they're like, "Oh, Hackham used to be. Hackham probably used to. The Hackham's fucking like literally directly across the road from me." I grew up in these areas my whole life. Bit ghetto, nothing compared to fucking Bankstown, Mount Druitt.
Mount Druitt. Fucking, oh man.
Green
Blacktown.
Acres, Blacktown,
Yeah,
like
dude.
those areas.
The 90s was fucking hard.
Fucked.
And it's still fucked. It's fucking hard.
Bro, people are fucking... It's almost worse.
But some of the Lebos that I was hanging out, man, fucking gangsters, man. Like you see people talk shit about what they grew up with and how they were and whatnot. I'm like, man, I was hanging around with some fucking bad people, man. Like, guns were getting pulled. Like, you'd get a car rock up and the back boot would open up and there'll be some guns in the back. Fucking pounds of weed in the house. I'm talking fucking garbage bags and garbage bags and garbage bags. Like, pulling out fucking bags of pills. Like, I'm not talking like a small little fucking 10-pack of pills. I'm talking thousands. You're hanging around with boys. And that was like, you either sat at home and played video games, or you were, and I fit into both of those. Like, I'm a fucking chameleon, man. I can fit into any situation.
See,
which is weird.
That's always been my biggest problem in life. I'm very adaptable to any situation. So, like, I would always weasel my way into somehow just getting fucking written off for 3 weeks. Like, every time. Like, I'd just find someone out. Because, like you, much like you, I used to hang around a lot of fucking Lebanon. Like, I grew up around Lebos.
Yeah.
That's my whole life. I know every fucking Lebo swear word you can fucking say. Kiss the Shamuta, the 80. Like, I can fucking say them all. But, like, they were fucking pretty wild cunts. So my whole youth was just growing up around unlimited sources of anything you wanted, walking around like a tough cunt. But that needs to come to an end for a young man, or you're going to go to jail or get fucking killed.
Well, one of my fucking good mates back then, he was just like, I just want to go to prison. He was a white boy and he was just like,
sort yourself out.
I want to go to prison. I want to experience how I'm going to do that. And a few things happened. Some pretty fucking crazy things happened. And I think I stood back and I was like, all right, I'm going to go this direction and I'm going to end up here. Or I'm going to go this direction, I'm going to end up here. So I pulled myself out of that situation and left them behind. And
then went to the military.
No, actually, man, I did. I went and did bar work for a long time. So I fucking got my RSA, started
working. Were you a late adopter to the military in military standards?
I was 26 when I joined the military.
That's like, is that fairly old?
Yeah, look, probably in some instances.
I didn't even know that you could join the military at 26.
What the fuck? You can join whenever you want.
Really?
As long as you can do the fitness test and everything.
The Sashusaf goes to the military.
Let's go,
New
bro.
series coming
Let's go. We'll join back in together, man. But I went to hospo and did that and fucking nailed that. And I started doing some DJing as well. And I was in the club scene and sort of, but coming from Greenacre, coming from the drugs, coming from all that. And then, the ice hit the scene. And I took that real hard because I had a pretty hard upbringing with my parents, and my bio dad was never really around, still fucking isn't, and then had a Lebanese dad, and he was pretty heavy-handed with how he was trying to raise me, and had a lot of fucking instances with him. My mum just didn't know how to fucking parent, so she was really neglectful for who I was, and I went through a fucking lot of shit with abuse through both of those people, and then when I hit the hospice scene, it was like, there's a lot of love.
Oh, there's fucking nothing like it when you're a young man that doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Bro, you're making cocktails for girls and girls are giving you fucking numbers and
just
then drugs are coming through the bar.
The whole crowd, it's like I'm always in two minds about if my son, because I always knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be a chef, and I always wanted to be a chef at a really high level. So when I was 16, I was fucking done with school. I just got an apprenticeship. I was qualified by 18. And there is, if my son came up to me when he was 17 and said, Dad, I want to be a chef, I would, just because I know the demand of the job at a high level, and I know the crowds you can fall into because it's just all so accessible. Like, I would have to tell him to fuck off.
Let him run his course, man. You gotta let him do his. You're a good dude, But I think I did that. But what happened to me is I always said that if shit got hectic, I'll join the military and sort myself out.
And you did.
And fucking one day, we were doing like because when I started DJing a little bit more often, we were doing big parties, big. Man, fucking.
What was your DJ name?
Bags of back then it was Hectic, and then we had fucking bags of coke, bags of pills, always
Prime 90s
everywhere. Oh man, the shit was great.
Fucking King's Cross.
Man,
King's Cross in the 90s.
Ramison boys in the cross, man. It was fucking cool. The Icebox, if anyone ever remembers the Icebox back in King's Cross, like fuck, man, that was some days. Sublime, Palladium, like all those places, they were the fucking best. But then the Ice came into the scene and it fucked a lot of people up. Fucked the club scene up real bad, and it fucked me up real bad. And
we were talking about it before. It used to be like it used to be like an accessory of party.
You just added it onto the list of shit you were taking.
Yeah, you want like six. Cool. You want 6 fucking red mitzies, and then you're gonna fucking go do a point.
Yeah, like, it was just normal, man. Yeah. It was a normal thing, and you didn't know any better. And plus, coming from a fucking abusive family life and whatnot, like I figured out in later life that, to be honest, like I was pretty much trying to kill myself, like. In the way of
like subliminally, you're trying to fucking test the limits. Let's see how far we can run this.
It's just some limits, bro. Like, you know, I had some fucking times and you know, some fucking many days being awake and doing all this shit. But I woke up one day and I was like, I'm at the end of it. Like, I got to make a choice. And I met a really good fucking mate who was he was a commando, and I always loved his stories about how he trained and all these different things. And I just kind of looked up to him. Like, he's a bit younger than me, Tim. Fucking love him, man. But I looked up to him and I was just like, it's my time. Like, I need to go. And then applied for the military. I couldn't get in because I had shit grades at school. So I went to TAFE, did my year 10, smashed that. And then joined the military in 206. And then fucking shipped out to Baghdad in 207. So
jeez, I literally that's a turnaround,
bro. Fucking like
you did the speed run.
Just pumped it in.
Bro, I know so many cunts that have been in the military for fucking 10 years and haven't gone and done it.
100%, man. It was crazy.
Why is that?
Well, like, you know, like back then, like when like 206 was kind of like a big turning point for when Iraq kind of took off. And 207.
Wait, so what year were you in Baghdad?
207. 2007.
Fuck.
So like you had the World Trade in 201.
It was still going, like, but that was still red hot over
it was
there.
Fucking man.
Was Saddam dead yet? Oh, he's fucking Iran anyway. It doesn't really.
Yeah, I don't think he was. Oh fuck, I can't remember. Should know that. Yeah, man. It was just like I'd done recruit training, which was just this fucking, like, they just try and break you down and rechange you, and then you did the core training, which was infantry. And then go to unit, Christmas, and then like, oh, hey, guess what? We're all going to fucking Iraq. And
Did you shoot yourself?
Fuck.
Did you shoot yourself?
You know what? Like, if anyone says that they're never afraid, it's bullshit.
It's the same as walking out for a fight and people try and say that they're not scared. Everyone's scared.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking shitting bricks. But I was also excited because I was like, you know, I say, like, if you train to be a mechanic, you never fix a car. Like, what's the fucking point? So after doing all this shit, I'm just like, you know, just had this stupid bravery because you're just like, fuck, I know if I can do this and do that.
Oh, so you're prime 20, so you think you're technically invincible.
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone that comes out of recruit training and they go to when they get out of their core training and they go to barracks, so you'd see them. I remember being up in Darwin and like I'd been in it for a couple of years now, and you see the new guys come in and you can tell their fucking hair's all short and they're all like walking around like tough shit. But yeah, we kind of liked that and we were quite excited. We did a fuckload of training before we went, and we were ready. And you know, I think back to that whole point of just, I want to experience everything in life. And even with my work career, if I go down that path, man, I've done so much shit, and I know that when I get on my deathbed, I'll be like, fucking done everything, man, and I'm happy with that.
I love watching videos on. I like watching videos on anyone that's really great at their craft. But anyone that's exceptional at their craft, like there's this bloke Magnus who's a climber. I love watching him climb. Like there's Alex Honnold who does free solo. I love watching him. Like anyone that's good at fucking Rubik's Cube, I watch. But there's something special about when soldiers are on a different level to other soldiers. And there's this YouTube channel that highlights the best soldiers of all time. He's ex-military. He's an American veteran, and he's just like the what was he? The White Death, like the sniper from was he Swedish or something? Russia invaded Switzerland or Sweden once, or it was a Nordic country, I believe. But he had like 450 confirmed kills with a sniper with no scope, and it's just like those guys who are outliers are fucking crazy. And I watched this Navy SEAL who, in my mind, in my understanding, if you are a Navy SEAL, you are in the top 1% of soldiers in the world.
Those guys are cool.
The American military is the best military in the world. They are the most highly trained. They fund trillions of dollars into it. They build fucking super soldiers. So if you get into the Navy SEALs, you're not like, for lack of a better word, a run-of-the-mill soldier. You are like a very high-achieving soldier. And this bloke only lasted a month because he got shot, and then he fucking got discharged. But he said, the thing that wowed me about being there was how beautiful it was watching how well we work together. Because everyone has this thing where in their minds, like even me with preconceived notions of like military, when you watch a movie, there's always one hero. There's always one. But you don't realise that it's a hive mind. Like, you aren't even thinking in your own mind. You are all thinking about each other, especially in the SEALs. They have drills. It's like a fighter doing 1,000 kicks on a pad or like doing a check hook. It's just built into them, and they're just fucking looking at each other and go here. Like, he said it was like, the biggest, craziest thing about war was how, like, for lack of a better word, it was just fucking beautiful. Like watching how everyone was moving together, and like it's something that no one else in the world, unless you've been there, will ever experience.
I agree, man. The SEALs are another level. I love like reading a lot of their stuff and watching some of the podcasts and stuff from ex SEALs and some of their experience and what they've done. Like,
they're the best of the best.
Man, it's fucking impressive. I think when it comes to military for us, like, we would like,
who's our highest? Like, do we have an equivalent? Like,
SAS.
We have the SAS,
yeah,
of course.
So the SAS boys, man, they're like, to get into that and to do what they do, and you know, hats off to them, man, because they've got to give up a lot to do what they do. You know, that takes a toll on family. That takes a toll on what you want to do with your life.
Well, it's anyone in the top 1% of anything has to be selfish.
Yeah. Well, it's like Goggins and stuff like that.
But he's different. That's just like a. When I was talking about this the other day, actually, one of my friends, he ran 50 kilometers. Shout out to Jacob. He ran 50 kilometers because one of his staff has a really rare cancer, and they were raising money for her. He ran it over 24 hours, and he's fit, but he's never run more than 20 Ks. He got that dehydrated. He was pissing jet black for a week, got shin splints in a moon boot. He's like, I've ruined my body. And we got talking about David Goggins. He's running from something and hoping it doesn't catch up, bro.
Yeah, man, he's got demons.
No,
man.
but like, not even trying to be funny. That's a lot. Like, these cunts are running. Like, when you get to that level of person, I could never fathom it. Like, no one could.
But I have an opinion about that sort of stuff as well, and you know, probably come back at me for saying that. But
can you just put the microphone a little bit closer? Oh no, you can stay where you are. Just move it a little bit closer. That's it. Perfect.
I have like my opinion around that, and it's, you know, I got a lot of respect for guys that do that sort of stuff, but when you read the books and when you really, if you take out a lot of the stuff that they talk about and you look at the core stuff that they do, and especially with like the Goggins thing, because you see that stuff, it's like, get up, you're a piece of shit, like work harder, like do all this stuff, and which is, you know, and to some aspect I get that.
Doesn't work for everyone,
but everyone is we're all individual in our own ways, right? And you hear that message and people are like, I got to have the Goggins mindset. I got to have and it's like,
it's ruining the youth.
But yeah, 100%.
No,
because
like,
the thing is, it's like,
they're thinking they're inadequate and lazy.
Go back and listen to his audiobooks and how he reads it. And it's fucking spectacular. And I've got a lot of respect for the guy, but also, what have you sacrificed with that? Your children, your relationships,
everything,
or everything, right?
No, not even that. Everything.
Like, you've given everything for what you want to do as a person. And if you want to do that, don't involve yourself into a relationship. Don't bring kids into the world. Don't don't focus, don't have aspirations of doing other things other than that one thing that you want to do. Become the best of it and run it, but don't bring anything else into it. But don't shoot yourself down because it fucks with your mental health.
Ask Michael Jordan's wife, put her on a lie detector and ask if she was happy with her relationship. The benefits are sowed now. I don't know I just use that as an example. Tiger Woods. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like ask these top. I'm not talking about the top 10. There is such a difference between being in the top 10 of something and fucking the goat.
1%.
No, but like the goat. Like if you want, like I guarantee you put Michael Jordan's wife on a fucking lie detector and go, were you happily married during that time? Fuck no.
No.
Fuck no.
Gave up everything.
Doesn't matter how many 50 millions he brings home. You're sitting at home by yourself and he doesn't give a fuck what you're talking about because it's not getting him better at the task at hand.
100%,
Some people only, and I respect it. So I'm not saying this in any way to slight people.
Same.
I realize this, bro. There's this fighter. He's fighting. This will be out next week. So he just fought on Saturday that just passed when you're watching this. His name's Jack Spacey. He is about my age. I think he's a bit younger. He's maybe late 20s. This bloke, he's fighting Muay Thai. I think he's like 8-0, 9-0. When you meet someone and they're built so different to you, it makes you realise how different people can be. When you meet those like extreme winners, like my friend Declan that I had on before you, he's like one of the best in the world at jiu-jitsu now, trains in Texas, all that. When you meet these people, you realise how different you are to them. I was training with Jack in his shed once, and Jack is a fucking... If there was ever someone that personifies combat, like in the fact that you don't realise how violent some people can be, and he's the sweetest man ever. Like, he would legitimately kill 10 dudes in a row. Like, there would be nothing they would be able to do. Nothing. And he's so sweet. But we were training one day and we were in the sauna. And after the training session, and it was dead quiet. And I'll never forget this. He just randomly says, do you know why no one's on my fucking level, Sav? And I said... Nah. And he goes, because no one's willing to do what I'm fucking willing to do.
Sacrifice.
Like, I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. and running 50 kilometers. When that little voice in my head says, I'm going to fucking go to the pub.
You're coming home for the pub at 3 a.m.
No one will outbend me. Like, I can fucking go. But like that was seeing he is maybe the most perfect example of like fighters are very much like. I would love to know, have you ever met anyone in the army that you've been with and you're like, oh, you are like built for war?
Couple.
Yeah.
There was a couple boys, and I'm like, just awesome. We actually, funnily, we had Tim, who I mentioned before, who kind of he actually helped me sort of get into the military. One of the guys that he knows, he'd been in for a while. He was in commandos, but because he was what was he? He's an arty, like doing artillery, but he hadn't done infantry, so he had to go back and do his the core training to be able to be ticked off to be accepted as like a commando, which is fucking bullshit because the guy had been in the unit for quite a while. But I remember walking in and I'm like, I just come out of recruit training. I'm, fucking absolute lid of a human, pretending like fucking I'm a super soldier. But I look up and I see Sean and I'm like, fuck. And this dude's a big dude, knows what he's talking about. And it was fun because we had him when we were doing CQP training, and that's like entering rooms and stuff like that. And he'd been deployed and he's done all this work before. And he was with us to do the training, and it was just fucking like just watching him move and how he did things. I was like, fuck, man, like I know Tim and all those other guys would have been pretty fucking elite with what they did, but watching Sean work, and I was like, just this big unit running through and doing this sort of stuff.
Built for war.
I was like, yeah, man, this is cool shit. And he was you know that if you were with him as a team, like you said back with the SEALs and stuff, like he'd just be one of those guys. He was just so pinpoint
accurate.
He was just so intelligent, so swift, but like the aggression with what he did was just on point. And man, like that was one of those points where I was like, okay, like, got to focus on that kind of energy.
I have to give you this man's YouTube later. He just documents like some of these characters, and it's like this bloke did fucking Vietnam War, got shot in the jaw once, blown up twice, dragged his fucking blown up body to his comrades to try and save them through a grenade in a fucking, like, all these people that have received all of these stars and prestigious awards. It's just fucking like, I don't have that much will.
It's not easy, man. Like you put your life on the line.
At the end of the day, fuck Australia. I'm looking after myself. I'm fucking learning Mandarin at the moment because I believe in the takeover.
Get ready, man. Fucking ideas coming through.
It's fucking happening. Ni hao.
Yeah. You know what? I'm happy for them to come through because I don't mind the Chinese and the culture. So.
They
could be worse.
I really feel like I'm an Asian man reincarnated. I fucking love Asian culture. I love everything.
Dude,
any flavour of Asia, I just love the culture.
It's good, hey?
I've like been all around Europe and stuff, and then I went to Japan, and I was just like, you just can't get better.
Nah, it's Southeast Asia, man. It's my favourite place to go. I've travelled the world, and I'm like, you know what? I love Southeast Asia. Like if I could retire with a hut in Thailand, one of the islands.
That's the white man's dream.
Man, I know I sound like it. I should just get a big beer belly and stuff.
But like a penthouse in Pattaya.
But the people are so beautiful, man, to communicate with them and to assimilate with that culture. And again, go back into what we were saying before. I'd assimilate into their culture because I just love it. It's peaceful. It's kind. It's courteous, man. And that's what I hope for with Australia. And
do you get mad that war gets romanticised?
Yeah, a little bit, man. I think especially when we talked before about.
I'm definitely like a fucking culprit of it because there is something fucking romantic to fucking. You're sending your best of the best over there to defend your country, like that. But then you watch the movies, and the movies is the issue.
Yeah, oh man, Hollywood's fucking. They got something to explain, but. Look, man, it's hard because we're red-blooded males, and at the end of the day, if you want to talk masculinity, like that's when you put your masculinity to the test.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to say before, when we were pulled up in southern Iraq and we pulled out to this fucking outpost and we were ready for QRF to help support some American special forces in an attack that was going on in the town, the imminent threat and like the conversations about we were ready, like we were basically just laying down on the sand in this tiny little compound ready to fucking jump in cars and just go. And I saw some boys that were fucking tough, want to be tough and break down and cry. And you see some small little skinny dude who was just like, fuck yeah, we're going. And then you see some big boys who were just wanting to go home, man.
Yeah.
And that's scary shit, man, because it becomes real, and that's when you go back to people who's like, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's like, man, you don't know until you're tested about what your capabilities are and what you're able to let go. And are you able to accept death in that moment? Are you able to, because like if you're going to go do that, like you have to be ready to die.
What was the feeling like knowing you're going to die but didn't die, obviously?
Weirdly peaceful.
Surprisingly peaceful.
Surprisingly peaceful, man. Like just accepting the fact that this is it, and like if that tanker went off that was next to us, or if we got hit by them, like it would happen instantly, man. So that I wouldn't have known, but it's just something that I'm still working through, because the stuff that happened with the crate incident. It sort of brought
just
a lot of that
flared
up.
Everything.
Yeah, man, it did.
Because you would have just compressed all of this shit down, and then one like event of like danger happens, and it just would have fucking broken the seal.
Well, you're not used to seeing that in home ground.
Yeah.
Like home ground that happens, and you kind of just, when I was like, okay, fucking love my kids, man, like love my wife, and you do that again and you don't die, and you kind of go, fuck, like I'm able to accept it, but it's also, it takes a toll, you know, it does play on you. So,
Yeah, I've been like shooting my whole life. Well, not my whole life. I've been shooting pretty actively for like a decade. But I picked up guns when I was younger. I've never felt worse of a shooter until I met my mate, who I go shooting with now, who's ex-military. Fucking wild. Just the skill disparity is so wild.
it's different.
That's my first deer. That was
Yeah, no shit.
6 months ago. It fucking went out with my mate. He like has a lot of property, and he's like, "Do you want to come shooting?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll come out." I've always wanted to shoot a deer. I've only ever shot bunnies, hares, things like that, foxes. And he's like, "Fuck it, you can have my 223. I'll drive, and then we'll just spotlight and we'll get you a deer." And I fucking got 9 for 9 that night. My first night out, got 9 deers, fucking boof, headshots, done. But this kind I shot in the jaw, but then I saw him shoot, and I was like, it's just so. And he did. I don't even believe he had a deployment, just training. It's just crazy. Do you go? You don't hunt anything like that anymore?
No, you know what? I would love to have, but I've just spent a lot of my time keeping myself busy with other things.
You got to come out if you're back in Adelaide soon.
Fuck yeah, man.
If you're ever back in
Do that,
Adelaide,
man.
I'd love to go out with you.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's funny because I've been trying to get my gun license, and I've just been lazy at doing it. But I
Sorry, you can use mine. I got a gun license.
Don't I have to have one?
Nope.
No.
Nope. No, that's not illegal.
I was like, shut the fuck up.
No. You're allowed to shoot under the supervision of a firearm license holder. I don't know how many people per. I don't know if it's like you. I can't fucking take out 100 people, but you'd be fine. Please, if I'm wrong, tell me.
The fucking Fed's gonna rock up in the door any minute now. No, it's interesting. Like it's I have wanted to get it, and I just have been lazy about getting it. But I think just raising a family, trying to just survive with what's going on in my life, and trying to keep busy with a lot of other things, you kind of I step back from that, and haven't had the opportunity to like.
What do you do now for work?
Nothing at the moment, man.
Just coasting.
Yeah. I'm just cruising at the moment, just being a family man. I enjoy. Like one of my favorite things is my children. So raising kids is fucking difficult. I think,
Don't tell me that.
It is hard, dude.
At the moment, it's hell easy.
But I like
raising men and like women is probably hard.
Man, in this day and age, it's super difficult with all that's going on. But I just want to be as active as a dad as I can be, because I never had that.
Never had it.
So I know what I wanted as a dad, and I've got a 12-year-old, I've got a 4-year-old, and I've got a 6-month-old, and I mean, I'm doing life for the first time, and I'm trying to be the best that I can be for all of them. And I fuck up, man, and we all do. And I'm trying to just do my best to try and work on those fuck ups to do better, to raise good humans, so that I know that when I leave, I'm like, these guys are strong, these guys are good. I've given them the love that I can, and
I've done everything I can.
Yeah, man. So at this point, I've trying to dedicate my time and energy towards that, and to try and be a good husband to my wife, and that's a part of my sort of give back to the world. On top of that, just trying to do a lot of peaceful stuff to be able to give back to people with mental health. I've got a huge list of people that I call regularly to check in, to try and just talk through that, and that's military and non-military guys, because I think the one thing that we lack in community these times, because of fucking mobile phones, is human connection. I think we all strive for that, and I think there's a big disparity between what's happening in the world, because we don't have human connection as strong as what we used to. Back when I didn't have phones, we fucking rode 20 Ks to a mate's house to fucking hang out. If we couldn't call them on the landline, and we'd ride home because we weren't there. But the best times that I remember was hanging out with people. So I'm trying to do my best to try and connect with a lot of people. I'm trying to do some studies and different things at the moment to try and get into helping support men, women, and even kids as well, to try and help just build their mental health and help them be stronger, help them be more connected, and just help them be, to focus and do well in life, and to tackle the mental health things that are coming at us, because I think with all that's going on with all this digital stuff, we need people to be able to reach out and ask, are you okay?
That's why I'm getting fucking my Greek ass as far south as I can on 20 acres. Because I want my kid to grow up. I want him to fucking fuck up heaps. Like I used to fuck up. Like when I used to fuck up, it wasn't recorded on a phone. Like I had so much fun with my friends just being a dickhead, because you need that as a young man. If you go through life as a young man and you just coast through it and you're just kind of a side character and you don't have a wild stage, I honestly feel like you're going to have that blowout at some point in your life, and it's going to be when it's not good, like 30s, 40s, 50s. Have your blowout when you're younger. Go fucking whatever. Go fucking drive on the paddock, accidentally fucking do something. You know what I mean? I want that, but I want him to do it on my property.
Because then you don't have to pay for someone else's property, right?
Yeah, or no, I've always wanted a farm. I've always wanted a farm. And now I'm in the position where I can kind of afford one. Like in 3 or 4 years, I really have always wanted my son to grow up in a rural area. I've always wanted it.
Do it, man. I'm a big believer in...
I want my kid to go out shooting. I want my kid to learn how to drive by 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want all those things for him.
Get dirty, have fun, enjoy life, experience shit.
Fucking like, you just... And if anyone bullies my kid, I don't care how petty it is, I will fuck the dad up. I don't give a fuck if I'm 5'5". I'll get a baseball bat and I'll fuck you up. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm always said to my son, I'm like, he's only 4 and he sees bullies at his daycare, and I'm just like, you don't be a bully, but you beat the bully.
Yeah, fuck him.
So like, you know what? You don't give him a fucking choice.
Fuck him.
Because like, nothing humbles a man more than being punched in the fucking mouth.
Especially the biggest thing, everyone should know this by now, the biggest fucking kryptonite to a bully is fucking not taking their shit.
Mate, you know what? Most bullies haven't been
Don't
here.
everyone take that advice, because like some bullies are hard cunts.
But you know what? I think also when raising kids too, you got to remember it's not about what you wanted and what you want to be as you grow up. I think a big thing for aspiring parents is that you got to be gentle with your children.
That's actually a very good fucking thing to say, because the first thing I said when I heard I was having a boy is he's going to be the featherweight champion of the world.
Yeah, I was like, my boy's going to be MMA. I was like,
because that's my fucking dream.
Yeah, 100%.
But you got to not instill but you got to instill your virtues, and you kind of get a second run at life to like you didn't have an active father, you grew up in a rough household, you're trying to raise your kids a lot more gentle, but do you get to a point where you're like, because I understand gentle parenting, but do you get to a point where you're like, okay, there is a time for sternness?
So yeah, that's a good point, man. Because
I don't fully agree with like the fully gentle parent. I'm not going to fucking bash my kid, but like some take it to a level that I don't agree with.
So yeah, there is. You know what? I think there's a bit of confusion about what gentle parenting looks like, and my wife's a real advocate for gentle parenting, and to be honest, there's a way of doing it which really works. Like I've talked my son out of a meltdown just by communicating to him. And you got to remember that...
Which is something we didn't get the pleasure of.
No, man. I got my fucking ass handed to me, man. But I learned to shut the fuck up. But that's a problem, because I never been able to work on my emotions, work on how to understand what that feeling is and to communicate that in the right way. So with my son, it's like, I don't have a strong arm, but I'm like, there's points where I'm just like, hey, cut the shit. Like fucking, but now we do, because I do breath work and I teach him breath work. So now when something happens, he goes, and he regulates himself, and he goes, okay, I'm regulated, I'm back to normal. And that's cool, man, because he's 4 years old. So I'm helping him to get his system back in check, to be able to go, okay, now what do I need to do to be able to move forward from this? So there's a gentle parenting, it's...
Do you do breathwork, you said?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm not fully sold on it.
Dude, I'm going to get out of the right one.
I don't want to be... I'm obviously fucking... I'm being trained. I don't want to sit here and lie to you. Like, I see these videos of guys like fucking pulsating in emotion and screaming. And I'm like... I personally couldn't do that. I grew up very Greek. You bury it.
Yeah. Fucking Lebanese, man.
The ethnics. But like, you just fucking shovel it down.
That's it. Yeah.
But I know that's not healthy, but I think there's also, I think you can take a little bit from both sides, because some people I feel now are almost, I don't want to say too emotional. They don't know when to suppress an emotion.
Yeah.
Because I feel that there is a appropriate time as a man, especially because I do believe in strong gender roles. Not strong gender roles, but I do believe that it is a man's job to, like, your missus 90% of the time should not be looking after your emotions. I don't know how to word it properly to make it sound like I want it to sound.
No, I understand that.
I feel like there is a certain aspect to a man being a man that should still be appropriate in society today.
Yeah, and what I've found with breath work is that, you know, if you look at someone like Gaethje, right? Like you look at those old fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys and whatnot, how they work their breath to be able to continue to work harder.
Because breath is 100% of your emotion,
and that's your strength too, right? So when you're going to do a headlock and that sort of stuff, right? If you're just holding your breath, you're holding
fight or flight.
You're holding onto energy, and then you're everything's taxed out, so you can't hold on for much longer. But if you've got
if you're controlling your
breath, you can hold that fucking headlock for as long as possible.
I know you can achieve certain meditative states with breathing and stuff as well. When people say it's as strong as DMT, I say you've never done it properly.
Well, I'll agree with that to some point, but I have had some experiences where I'm just like, whoa, like I'm kind of actually feeling like, because there's a lot of CO2 changes in your body, and it's a regulation in different ways, whether it's nose breathing, nose and mouth, or just mouth. So what I would say that if there's any guys on here listening to this that has never gone to breath work,
I'd never tell you not to.
Yeah, but I would say go and experience it, because I think as men, like, there's a masculinity sense for us where we need to be strong.
100%.
But also we need to know how to regulate those emotions and feelings, because
you need a bit of feminine in you.
Well, it's not necessarily feminine, but
you
it's
don't want to
also
call it the word, but you need to break down the masculinity event. Like,
well, you don't have to sit there and cry on your best mate's shoulder, but if you can regulate through something that's really difficult, and you can go, okay, cool. Because like, I think there's a lot of guys who don't know how to express that, and that turns to violence or fucking DV and that sort of stuff.
Do you know what fucks me with the whole mental health movement? I'm dead set, honestly, because I've gotten into big arguments with people on this. I hate how cunts have monetized it.
Yeah.
And they've turned it into, so a lot of people in the mental health space are not nice people. They've just monetized it well, and they're fucking scammers. They're like, I'm not saying everyone, but like there's like the chin up fucking cunt from Adelaide, Cam. He lives in fucking Southeast Asia now. He stole fucking 80 grand's worth of donations just from his chin up mental health thing, and now he's changed his whole platform. He's been sued. But like people like that who target men that are vulnerable, to me, is just fucks the whole thing.
But there's demons everywhere, right? So they're gonna.
There's demons everywhere, but it just kills it for me, because they're preying on vulnerable men. So you're not helping them. You're just trying to get a paycheck from them, and you don't care if they die.
No.
Like that to me. If one of my friends calls me tomorrow and is fucking miserable, I will talk to that cunt until he's okay. I'll go to his house. Like I don't think it's weak to talk to your friends.
Fuck no.
But there is a time where you got to fucking nut up as a man, especially when you have kids. Especially when you have kids, I feel.
I agree to a lot of that. No, I understand that, and I think I
hope I'm not coming off as a dickhead.
No, you're not. I think with a lot of that, what we should do, and what a lot of guys should do, you shouldn't wait for someone to fucking call you. You should be calling your fucking mates.
Yeah, that's a fucking other thing.
Because one thing you need to look at, and one thing I always fucking scan, and that's part of fucking the military shit for me. But I'm just like always scanning, always observing. But when someone goes quiet on social media, there's something wrong. There's either something wrong, or they're just having a break.
If they're usually active.
But you reach out, man. Because it doesn't matter if you think that they've got something big on or whatever. If you get a fucking text message and it says, "Hey man, just checking in on you, okay?" Instantly, even if you're not in a mental situation, like a mental health situation, you're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah, man! Thank you." Like, no, I'm good, man. I'm working. I've received that before, and I'm like, "Fuck, thank you. I appreciate that." And I've reached out to people before that have gone quiet, and they were on the fucking edge,
the verge,
like literally on the edge of it. And I've got a number of boys who message me every now and then, man, and they say to me, they fucking thank you for fucking calling me.
My best friend like unalived himself. My best friend topped himself, but I knew he was going. No, I didn't know. There was a circumstance where there's three of us that were best friends, and he was working for me at the time because he was at uni. His name was Will. Sorry, I'm yawning. I can't breathe out my nose, so I actually have very bad breath. That's why I'm always fucking answering.
Then you get you a session, man. Yeah.
My best friend Will at the time was working for me, and he randomly came up to me he was studying to be a psychologist, but like a very high level one. He's smart as fuck. And we used to love getting on it together and shit. But the more I look at it, the more I figured now that I look back on it, he was doing that to figure out his own shit.
Yeah.
But one day he came up to us and he was like, I got to move to Sydney tomorrow. And I knew why he was moving to Sydney. To help out some people with some stuff to earn a lot of money very quickly. And I was like, okay, man, like, you have a history with trying to kill yourself. Like, you're not mentally... He tried to top himself once when we were on a bender, and I went to work. My mate went to work that he was living with, and he tried to take a downer to stop the upper from working, and he went into a drug-induced psychosis. And he had a snapped femur. I'm laughing because I love Will and I can laugh at this. He had a snapped femur bone at the time from a month ago when we went out to HQ, and he snapped his femur in half, bro.
It's a pretty hard bone.
And we run him to the hospital in the city, the Royal Adelaide at the time. We ran him there and we were like, we got to make HQ close. We're going to leave this cunt here. We're going to go to HQ and we're going to come back. So he had a snapped femur bone at the time. He jumped through a 3mm glazed window, scaled a 2-meter fence, cut his throat with a beer bottle, and landed in his next door neighbour's house and was like, help me. And he woke up 4 hours later, cut his jugular, woke up 4 hours later, and he was like, I don't remember anything. So he had a history of like bad shit. He had a demon in there, but like when you met him, you wouldn't know, but he had a demon in there. And he was like, oh, I got to move to Sydney. I knew why he moved to Sydney. And as soon as he did it, I looked up my friend, Chris, and I was like, he's going to be dead in 2 months, guaranteed. But he won't listen. So, like, he wouldn't listen. And get the call one day. He came back to Adelaide once. He rocked up in a brand new Mustang and had a Rolex. And he was, like, showing us. And I was like, it's cool, man. Like, it's cool.
Anything,
but it doesn't change anything. Fucking week later, 10-story balcony feet first. And I will never forgive him for that.
Yeah.
I have such a weird relationship with suicide. And it sounds rough. It sounds whatever. It sounds insensitive. I just have such a weird... I wouldn't call it I don't have a sympathy for it. I just fucking... You don't understand the people you're fucking over. I didn't even go to his funeral because I was that fucking mad at him. And it kills me. Like, it kills me. But it just, like, with suicide, obviously, like, you got to worry about the person. But you just don't understand the cataclysmic fucking butterfly effect of
what
it.
you leave behind, especially if you've got children.
Man, bro, if he had children, that would have been... And the ones that do it at home.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You have fucked that kid. That kid will never be normal. Yeah. Ever.
The one thing that's...
I'm sorry for putting it like that.
But it's deep, man.
That's just how... That's like... No one talks about that.
No. Oh, man. Like, I've considered it so many times, and I've got a lot of demons that I got to deal with. And... daily it's a battle. Daily it's like it's tough. And
I'm very sorry to hear that.
It's just my life, and it's just what I got to deal with, man. But the one thing that grounds me is my kids.
Yeah.
And the other thing that grounds me is helping other people out.
Yeah.
Because the feeling that I get, the euphoria that I get from calling someone and talking them through situations, or even if like some of the boys that I've reached out to, that they're messaging me, and I just find something in there, and I'm like, bro, I'm going to call you and answer the phone. So I chat with them, and we chat for an hour and a half, 2 hours on the phone, and we're laughing at the end of it. And then I get a message back saying, bro, you helped me get through that day.
That's fucking beautiful.
And that's what helps guide me through it, because like there's, the shit that I've had to deal with my life and my upbringing and everything like that, it just sits on me heavy. And man, some days I don't want to be here. I go back into my PTSD stuff, and it just this fucking storm comes over me, and it clouds me around, and I just go, nah, I'm done, man. I'm fucking tired. Like I've had enough. But then I look at my children, and then I think about the people that I can help, and if I can help 10 people get through and live a fucking beautiful life and be happy, if I can help 1 million people, like whatever that works out to be in the future. And I've helped out a number of people already. Like that's what helps drive me through it. And so I hope that other people that are listening, it's like, just call, man. Call people. It doesn't matter if it's a guy, girl, whatever it is, man. Like I've reached out to girlfriends, and they've gone quiet, and they're like, oh no, it's okay, I'm just having a break, rah. But then they've come back like a week later and said, fuck man, thank you so much. Like that means a lot, because someone's looking out for you, and they feel connected. And that's going back to the whole just social media bullshit. You're giving everyone your time.
Social media, 1 million, like not even 1 million, like a positive, social media is the fucking whole issue with everything.
It's cooked everything, man.
Do you know why? Because back when I was growing up and we didn't know about the atrocities around the world, really. Now, I can go on fucking Instagram in the morning at 7 a.m. and I can see Charlie Kirk getting slaughtered like a fucking pig.
Fuck.
And mate, and my nieces, my fucking 14, 16 and 18-year-old nieces woke up in the morning, went on Instagram and fucking saw a man get shot like a fucking deer. Do you know how fucked that is for you?
It's terrible,
back in our day, we had to go on some fucking
Rotten.com, bro.
Yeah, and you had to watch like fucking Afghans burning people. That's what it was.
Beheadings and all that sort of shit. And you had to search that for the web, man.
But
Rotten.com,
or a mate would have it on his phone, and she'd Bluetooth it to you. It's so pushed in. We are not built to know the whole information of the universe. At my phone right now, I can look up anything that's ever happened besides the Jeffrey Epstein assassination. I can get the true fact.
But we're also like, it's also scary to think that we're actually pushed to advertise those sort of things, because we're not in control with what that is. So like the social media moguls, like Instagram, Facebook, all those sort of things, man, they could block that sort of shit from happening.
Why would you? It's audience retention.
But
it's audience retention.
The retention, but also like we're desensitizing people at a very young age. Like,
my kid's not going to know what a pussy looks like until he's fucking 12, God willing.
Well, I hope he reads I hope he pulls up the magazines like we had to. Not,
maybe I'll leave a strategical fucking Playboy magazine.
All these OnlyFans things, all these fucking Bonnie Blues and all that. Like, what the fuck is happening to the world? Like,
it's fucked.
Who goes to that shit? And why is this advertised? And why is this so like? I think it's the advertiser or whatnot.
Because there's money.
But the advertiser, they advertised over like 6 months. They were doing like every like couple of weeks. There was an OnlyFans advert, and I'm like, you're advertising that person to everybody.
It's big money.
What the fuck?
It's big fucking money. And do you know what? Old man media is just dying, and they don't know how to fucking keep up with it. I watched the news for the first time in years the other night.
It's terrible, man.
Mate. I don't want to... I'm going to try and say I'm very not racist right now, but it is so One Direction.
Dude, like...
It's so in one direction, and it's made to fucking fearmonger you, for one. Like
to get you angry, to get you aggressive,
that's the
to get you on this...
That's the biggest thing.
On these like left or right like pushes.
Here's a good one.
And it's more left.
Perfect example, the Ukraine-Russia war. We were never in danger with that. But we felt like we were. But we felt like we were. Do you know why? Because the media were hyping it up to be, if this happens, this is going to happen. And then if this happens, fucking Kim Jong-un's going to fucking drop a nuke. And then if this happens, China's going to get involved.
We're going to get invaded.
And then we're going to get invaded. And it's fear-mongering. And then you're buying you go into the local gold shop and you're buying gold because you're a conspiracy theorist. You're like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just all fear mongering. All of it. All of it's just to fuck you up to vote for fucking Labor. That's what it is.
It's true, man.
That's what it is.
It's true.
That's why they import fucking 500,000 voters a year.
Yeah.
Because it's all built to fucking vote. Oh, it doesn't matter.
And you know what? Someone watches Channel 7 News, and I'm going to point out something.
If you
Channel
get
7's
all
fucked,
of them,
right?
they're fucked.
No, I'll give a little bit of respect for 9 because they're actually pretty good with all the Crate Man stuff that I went through. Like, a lot of they were really cool, all right? They did a lot of good stuff, and they actually listened to me with a lot of things. Channel 7 fucking pissed me off because when they were promoting about Michaela Dunn being a sex worker, and I was like, that has no fucking relevance towards what she is. I said, you know what?
It's like saying she was of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander descent. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
She's a fucking person.
She's a woman that got murdered.
She was a daughter. She was a friend. She was all these things before what she was as an employee of what she did. And she was studying in university. No one, I don't know if anyone knows that, but she was trying to get through. She was trying to make it. And I don't think she came from a wealthy background. She was trying to make what she could. And people can be like, oh, fucking prostitute. I'm like, yeah, but you're probably paying for fucking OnlyFans. So like, you're promoting that sort of shit.
You're cheating on your wife on weekends.
Yeah. Fucking go to massage parlors and getting tugged off by someone.
You're at the fucking pokies on the weekend and then fucking doing lines of coke while your fucking kids are home with your missus.
And your missus is burnt out.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah. Just fuck off your high horse, your cock. Yeah. It just fucking gets me, man.
So it's hard. It's really hard. Like I hope a lot of people just don't take. You gotta do your research. I think when you're watching, you go watch the news.
Do any research as well. I'd love to know. I don't agree with the fucking alt-right media at the moment. Like, there's a massive movement at the moment to be hell fucking racist and be I've been racist since I was born. I am naturally racist. I say racial slurs every day. but like now, there is this thing that it's so cool to be so far alt-right that it's like, let's say the Holocaust isn't real. You're a dickhead. If like, I don't know.
You do your studies and you could be, you could be right, could be wrong. There's a lot of fucking things about that, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. Anything where there's a mass event of anyone dying, I just don't agree. Like I don't put any tragedy above any tragedy in my mind.
Everything's a tragedy in some.
Oh, bro! When fucking more than 100 people die, it's fucking terrible.
It is.
And yeah, there's obviously a very fucking prominent group in the world.
But I think at the end of the day, what everyone needs to be careful of is because we're so addicted to social media, you'll get.
You don't have your own opinion,
but you'll get advertised what you're sort of leaning more towards. To if you lean towards left, if you lean towards right,
the algorithm.
But the biggest thing is, and I think a lot of people aren't connected enough toward it, and I think the older generation understand this, is like, if we're divided,
we're fucked.
We're easier to control. Yeah. Okay, because you can control the left, you can control the right into these narratives and keep them focused on that shit. We're right in the middle. The policies and shit that are getting pushed through government are getting fucking. They're getting overshunned because all these shits are happening. So if we get divided, like, there's nothing stronger. Like, government agencies and stuff. Like, I'll probably get in trouble for this. But like, you put the government. Like, if you put all of us as people together and we fought against something and we said, you know what, we don't fucking like this. This is wrong. And the left and the right came together and they said, no, actually, you know what? We're going to come together on this and go, this is fucking wrong. We will change it.
Yeah, but they can't because overnight. They need their fans.
But like, left won't go, oh, I'm going to hang out with right, and right going because the policies are advertised in different ways, and we're divided, man. Same as racism.
The biggest thing about politics is it's become a fan contest. Like,
yep.
In my opinion, the right and the left have the same people will say anything to get into power. Because at the end of the day, the whole game with politics is to get into power and not leave. Because it's financially fucking good for you. That's the whole thing about it. The whole thing about politics is financial gain.
Yeah.
And how long can we stay there?
How much money does the government make?
Do you think that, like, do you think Pauline Hanson really cares about, like, I'm not shitting on any political party right now because I'm not informed about it enough. I just don't believe any party in particular, once you get to that level, has our best interest in heart.
There needs to be a shake-up. And there needs to be a big one.
Because the system's fucked. This system, thank you, my fucking ancestors, the Greeks invented it. Fucking, or in most countries. Like, it just doesn't work anymore. No. One 75-year-old cunt can't run the country.
No.
It needs to be a bright young mind of 30 cunts. And there needs to be... Like, that's realistic.
But what about us all voting for the right things? Like, okay, hey, this is what's on the table.
But they're lying.
You have the right to vote where this policy comes through or this policy comes through. So instead of going to vote every 4 years, we vote on these certain things. And if you're into it, you vote. If you're not into it, you don't vote. So then we figure out who actually fucking wants to vote.
You should need a fucking license to vote as well. I don't know what the...
You should need a license to have children.
You should be, bro. That's fucking 100% true. The amount of fucking houses I've been in before in my youth where there was kids running around, those cunts did not deserve those kids.
These days, mate, this day and age, man, I am like I don't know if I could ever advocate for it enough to be able to make it a thing. But I think if you need a license to drive a vehicle, to raise a fucking human in this world,
bro,
you should have to get a psych test. You should have to do a psych test every 3 years and pass it. A drug test. Mate, all these things should be ticking the boxes to be able to raise a person to come into this community.
There's nothing worse than seeing a crackhead wield a kid. There is literally nothing worse now that because I'm... So, for people that... Oh, you can see my beers on camera. So, for...
You had 2 before this.
People that don't know... Yeah, I had 2 before this. For people... It's not called the sesh with Sav for no reason. For people that don't know, I fucking hate kids. I never wanted kids. But now that I have one, the most disgusting thing I can see is a tweaked out cunt with a kid in its hands. Because you just know that kid, unless the parent dies, is destined for failure. They're fucked. Or they will become something so great. It's 1 and 1. They will either become like Mike Tyson or fucking the local junkie Dave that just smokes, cracks, and steals darts out of the bin. There's no in between, bro. With these kids, they're just either gonna like never live up to their full. The worst thing a kid or a person can do is never attempt to live up to their full potential. You don't need to be a David Goggins. You don't need to be a Michael Jordan. You just need to be on your deathbed and be like, I fucking tried. These kids will never get the opportunity to even try with parents like that. Ever. Unless you're the 1%, you're the Mike Tysons, you're the Michael... Which is there's something in childhood trauma that drives people that are the top 1%.
Yeah.
Always. John Jones, look at him. Fucked.
Buzz. I mean, look, you point out a few guys, but there's a lot of greatness in what they've done, but as people and what they've done to other people as well throughout the time. You've affected a lot of good people in that run, right?
I think at a point though, your legacy and what you leave behind becomes more important than the people you affect. And I understand that, but like you said, I've had close interactions with people that know very fucking high-level people, and they're like, yeah, they're terrible humans. Terrible.
Absolutely.
But they're terrible to you because we don't understand that mindset. And also, it's like a lot of people care a lot more about legacy than... Like that, I think that's what separates... I don't care about legacy. I care about what my missus thinks about me.
You got to, man.
And what my kid's going to think about me. But I'm not trying to... If anyone gets any form of inspiration off this podcast, you're fucked. You know what I mean? I think there is a point where legacy overtakes people. Much like the Michael Jordan, John Jones, Tiger Woods, name fucking 10 of them, Messi. Yeah. I'm sure all those boys...
Messi would have come for money.
Bro.
Come on.
Yeah, he would. Actually, let's leave soccer players.
Yeah, fuck, man. Same as like F1 and all that sort of
Mike
stuff.
Tyson's a perfect one. Realistically, I love Mike Tyson.
Dude.
He may not have done it, but he has been to jail for fucking some really harsh crimes that are hard to look past. But you separate the art, Michael Jackson, you separate the art from the artist.
If you separate the art from the artist, it's completely different. But also, it's just, it's the effects that can come from that. It's hard.
What's your thoughts on Michael Jackson? You're a 90s boy.
I reckon he's still alive, dude.
Do you reckon he did it?
The kids...
Do you reckon he did all the allegations?
Fuck, man.
Because a lot of people... so I've even been guilty of this. A lot of people say, I think he thought he was just being friendly. Still kind of fucking pedophilia.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Because like, look, I'm not.
If someone, I
If I
blame the
didn't-
parents. Why are you giving your kid to a fucking?
You know why?
If
'Cause they're probably
someone
looking for
came
money,
to
man.
me and said, "I'll give you 500 grand to give me Zach for the night. I just want to play with him." What are you talking about?
Yeah, go
What
fuck
a-
yourself.
It's now that I've said that, fuck Michael Jackson.
But like again, I don't know. It's media, right? You're getting advertised shit that you don't know enough of, so you can't. You can form some sort of opinion. You can have an idea of it, but like unless you're there, did it happen? I don't know. Is it to do with money? Is it to do with?
It's all money. Everything's
But that's
money.
exactly right? And is he still fucking alive? Maybe he's that burn victim that hangs around in that whole circle.
Yeah.
You seen that shit? You look into like a whole Michael Jackson thing, and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of weird.
If I'm not religious, but if you are, if the devil invented anything, it was fucking currency. Because that is the root of every single if you really look into it, 99% of problems,
Money.
the deep root of it is always money.
What do you think breaks down relationships and friendships?
It starts with money.
Money, man.
Then it starts with gambling, try and get it back. Then it starts with cheating. Then it starts with...
But not
It's
even
a-
that, man.
it's a-
I've
it
seen
stems.
I've seen relationships break down because, I've had hard times when we're like scrounging for money, man. I've had money, and then I've had no money. I've lived where I've like had to eat fucking baked beans and toast for fucking couple of weeks, man, because I've had no cash, dude, nothing. And I've been in relationships where we've had absolutely fucking, and we're like, it's funny, man. Like my wife and I once we fucking sold our coffee table and a couple of things. We went to Savers, man, and we bought some things and we made some money on it because we needed to pay rent.
Fuck.
Because we were fucking struggling, dude. We went through a point, but I've been through that situation before, and I was like, we can't
You can't go back.
we can't let this point in our lives. This is a moment. This is part of a chapter. It's not a book. This is part of the chapter.
This is the third
It's
chapter.
not the whole chapter,
Yeah.
man, but it's part of the chapter that we need to work through to get to the next chapter.
Excellent.
And we worked through that, and now we're in a fucking really good position, man. And and you know, you gotta, and like I'm big on asking the universe, man, because I always say things like, in 5 years, this is where I want to be. And I focus on that, and I put a lot of time and energy onto that, and I think about it, and I work towards it, and we get to that sort of point. But yeah, when you bring that up with money, man, currency's fucked because it breaks people down, and people get so like it breaks relationships, friendships apart because money's fucking evil, man.
I rarely do this, but I really need to take a piss.
I actually got to do that too. Dude.
All right, we're back and we're refreshed, but I was saying before, we're going to switch up topics right now. We're going to get rid of the heavy stuff. And we're going to talk about the beautiful thing that is EDM. When did you finish DJing?
2018, 2017. So
Nice.
So I did a lot of DJing back in Sydney through bars and clubs, and fucking met some awesome people. Like that was a fun time in my life.
Did you ever
man.
were you like more bars and stuff DJs, or did you do more like clubs?
No, yeah, clubs, man. Like
Clubs.
I was trance, hard trance.
Did you
trance?
ever? So I've partied, and no one can talk. A lot of people on this podcast can talk about a lot of things, but when you're talking about partying, I'm a black belt. I partied all around Australia in the early 2000s and Europe, everywhere. There is no place in the world that even came close to HQ on West Terrace in South Australia.
You're such an Adelaidean.
Bro,
Come on.
tell me that nightclub, when it was fucking going off, wasn't one of the most immaculate experiences of all time.
You've never been to Sublime in Sydney.
I've never been there.
There you go. That's why.
Oh,
It's typical Adelaidean. If anyone remembers the Sublime days back in the 2000s, early 2000s, when clubbing in those days, man, that's another experience. Like that was like Sydney Sublime, like when it moved to Darling Harbour, because it was in town. I think it was Market Street. I think it was that it used to be, and it moved to a bigger place because it just outgrew itself. before that, like I was going in through to the underground raves. Like when I was growing up, like I didn't have any, like, because my parents were fucked, man. We would go to like the ones where you'd call up and then they'd go, okay, we'll message you, and then you'd fucking.
That's a different style of partying,
like,
though.
But see, like, I'm gonna trump you here because you got your black belt, but I got a couple of Dans on my black belt.
Oh, you got a 90s black belt.
Yeah. It's older than yours.
Yeah.
But like, man, fuck, we were finding clubs and pubs and stuff like that, and going like the coolest raves, and then getting into like DJing at some of those, like, yeah.
The best night, or one of the most memorable night. There's been a lot.
If you can remember it, then it wasn't a good night.
There's been one of my most epic nights was at this club called TSWS in Melbourne. It was on Lonsdale Street, and it was one of those ones that was open on a Friday and closed on a Sunday. It was, I think they call them recoveries. Well, when I was growing up, we didn't have them like in the CBD, and I went in, and I fucking was taking googs, just fucking.
Red Mitzies, Green Heroes.
I was fucked. And I didn't understand the concept of a club not being open for 3 days. And I've gone in and there's this dude playing, and it was this dude, and I was like, who the fuck's this? He's like, oh, it's this guy called Will Sparks. He just wasn't famous at the time. And then there was like Orchestrated, who were fucking probably oh, bro. And I just remember walking in on a Friday and I was walking out on a Sunday.
That was a typical weekend, man. That was just casual.
Oh, but in Adelaide, I think my favourite thing about Adelaide drinking culture was we emphasised kick-ons more than anything. Like the kick-on was the fun part.
Yeah.
We would go out and get fucked up, and then all the mischief would happen. But then the biggest thing was, whose house are we going to?
Yeah, where we going?
Oh, we're going to this house with kick-ons. And there was the guy that always he was on home D, so he had to have kick-ons because he couldn't go out. And I just remember my fondest memories were always at HQ, especially Soho Bar at HQ, especially after Stereosonic Music Festival.
Oh, man.
Bro, I saw Avicii play Levels the month, within the couple months it came out. I believe it was Stereos. I don't think it was Futures. And it was just the most euphoric fucking... Bro, it gives me goosebumps to this day.
It was like I saw Deadmau5 play Strobe. It was in Brisbane after a Stereosonic.
And seeing like Sub Focus and fucking Borgor and Armin van Buren all in the same fucking day. And it was just the most... And you're fucked. And you find a girl and you're like, I love you.
You're the one.
You are... Yeah. No, God, she's the one. But... And... it's just,
and then you're talking to some random somewhere. And
you're talking like to a Stobie bowl.
And then, like, man, I remember we were partying in it was one of the Olympic venues, and I met this dude. And anyway, we ended up fucking we got into the back of this, like, the arena, and we were up the very top row, and we were just sharing bumps with each other. Well, there's like little keys of MDs, and we're just sitting there chewing and just like watching this, like these ants marching, right? And the fucking DJ, the lights and all that sort of stuff. And we were the only two people up on this thing because we couldn't go up there. I don't know why the security didn't get us and how they didn't know that we were up there. We were just like... And I told this guy my life story, and he told me his. I don't fucking remember it, but it was the best time. You know, I was like...
I remember...
Where's that dude?
I went to Futures once, and I was like... fucking out on a hill, like I was gonna die, and my mate just comes and he's just like, take two more. And just fucking,
there's always that, mate.
But fucking bumped me up, and I just remember I could, you know, when you get fucked to the point you can't see, like I couldn't focus, like my eyes were just fucked. And I met this girl, she was a Filipino girl, and she was in the same boat, and there was no sexual anything, it was like, are you my friend? And she was like, are you mine? And I was like, I think we're going through the same thing. Yeah. Never got her name. Spent 12 hours with her at fucking Future Music Festival. Never talked to it. Don't even remember her name, what she looks like. We were just spirit guides that night. But I've never thought about this. My first music festival... I believe my first music festival was when Avicii co-headlined Stereosonic. My last one was Tomorrowland Solo, the year Avicii died. And I believe, can't remember if it was Calvin Harris or not, They played like a set for him.
Oh, dude.
Oh, bro, a million lighters. A million. In my opinion, because I like melodic EDM. I like when there's like I either like really hardcore dubstep with a massive bass drop, or I like melodic EDM with like a build up and a nice song behind it. Avicii to me is the greatest DJ that has ever lived. Just bangers. He just knew how to write a certain banger of music. Summer anthems. He was a summer anthem king.
Look, I'm gonna be like, I've had a lot of experience with in the industry with that, but man, Armin van Buuren, I'm like,
Armin van Buuren might be, or Calvin Harris is hell underrated as well. Not underrated, but
yeah.
Armin van Buuren, I will give you that 100%.
I'm saying, man, like, you listen to his podcast, and you can go.
Armin van Buuren has a podcast.
You don't know that he's got a podcast?
Really?
Dude, it's been around for like fucking 10 years or something, man. It's just him chatting with Ruben Duron, and they just play out tunes, man. And it's
really,
it is this, like, if you're into EDM or you want to get into it, you listen to that podcast, man, and it's just like it's the newest shit. Yeah, all that stuff comes up, bro. It's fucking unreal, and it's like one of those ones that I've got on like constant playlist in my car because I'm just like, it just sends me back.
I did not know that. Wow, Armin van Buuren and Avicii are so into, and obviously because
Ferry Corsten.
Nah, this holds a special place in my heart because it's my favorite song of all time because it's circumstantial. But Adagio for Strings is my favorite song by Tiesto. So I really like, just for respect, I can put him up there in my top 5.
I give a lot of respect to Tiesto as a producer, but as a DJ, I don't think he's that great.
Nah,
he's fucking can't mix for shit.
But
there's a lot of people out there.
Hardwell,
yeah,
Hardwell's fucking so up there.
Oh, I'm up there with Ferry Corsten, and Ferry Corsten does a monthly set on Armin van Buuren's podcast, and Ferry, man, because he was carte blanche. So back when, like, carte blanche Veracruz,
yeah,
you know that tune. Like, that's probably my when I die, I want that one played.
Really,
like, that's my one I want to get played.
I had a real deep affinity for like dubstep at the time because I love heavy metal and I like rap, but my favorite rap is like, I like anything when a beat just fucking crumbles on you, or like there's a build up and then it just fucking
Pop Smoke.
You know what I mean? Man. Pop Smoke, perfect.
Dude, I'm so sad that he died.
But I remember the second I fell in love with EDM or like dubstep, actually, because I was 10 bongs deep at my friend Luke Mitchellmore's house when we were 15 or 14, but maybe. And my friend Jacob comes up to me and he's seen this thing on YouTube, which was a new thing at the time. And he's like, there's this artist called Borgor, and he has this song, and if no one's ever heard it, I don't even know if it sounds good now. It's called Guided Relaxation. There's this song by Borgor called Guided Relaxation, and he put it on, and I just remember being fucking stoned as 15, 14. I was looking, I was like, I didn't know things could sound like this. And then Skrillex comes out, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you kind of go out and you start falling in love with like the Calvin Harris's, Armin van Buuren's, fucking Tiestos. There's something so special, especially when you're at Tomorrowland. I honestly think I had more fun at Stereosonic because I was with all my friends. But when you're at Tomorrowland, you understand the true power of the DJ. They're not just up there. They have
puppeteering, bro.
200,000 people in the trance.
It's puppeteering.
Arms up, lights out, like everything. You are at their beck and call. You will do anything they say at that moment because you're just fucking done.
That's a sign of a good DJ, man. So if you go to a nightclub and you're tapping your foot, you're nodding your head, you're doing this sort of things, the DJ's taking you on a journey. And that's what DJs have to do.
It's like any musical artist, kind of.
100%.
But
man.
I think EDM's different. EDM's different.
Well, you can make a trance tune, or you can make any tune, right? And you can tap your feet along to it. But mixing those tunes together to make them work in a way
very different.
That's going to send you on a journey is different, especially when you're playing with people who are high, doing all those sort of things. Like, that's you got to puppeteer
The
that.
MDMA might play a big part in it.
100%. But you still have to play to that emotion and feeling because you can what I used to do was like you create a set, and it's not like I would never really preset a set, but I'd have a bunch of tunes that I'd be like, okay, this does this does that, and you bring the crowd in, and you get them all working, and then like if it's a MDMA crew or a pill popping crew, you bring them up a bit, and then you bring them right down, so that energy, that
simmer
feeling,
down,
and you can see them all. They're like zombies. They're just like their eyes are down, and they're deep in that pill, and they're just like they're feeling everything. They're touching each other, and then you play that one tune that just goes, oh, bro, and then you see that fucking eyes, man, and they're just gonna go like that pill explodes for their entire body, and then they just go. And then you uplift it and you drive that fucking that sound and you keep rolling with that, and it just gives it that energy, and they'll remember that. They'll feel that forever.
So by chance, one Future Music Festival, everyone in Adelaide will remember this, but there was Skrillex and Nero brought out Promises, and in the I can't remember, I think in the film clip, like fighter jets fly over and blah blah blah. When they were playing their set, by chance, the Australian Defence Force were doing a test run.
Oh, get fucked.
A fucking jet fly. I don't know if it was planned, but a jet fucking flies over, bro. And everyone just starts ODing. Like, what the fuck? I'm never going to feel this again. Fuck you, mum.
This is the best. Same thing happened with I think it was Future. I can't remember which one it was, but it was Ferry Corsten, and he was playing a fucking killer set, and it was overcast as shit for the entire time. And then Armin van Buuren walks on stage, and everyone cheers, and it's still overcast.
I'm gonna have to grab one of these. Actually, I'm out of beers, I think.
Grab one of mine.
Oh, that's fair. Great. Do you know what? I knew I respected you the second I was like, what's your flavour? And we didn't talk to each other, but I bought a six-pack of Great Northern. And you brought a six-pack of Great Northern.
They're fucking good, man. They're easy to drink.
It's the...
Like, I don't care what
I don't want
says.
any hops in my beer.
No. You know what? I've experienced that. I'm back down.
But you were saying...
Armin comes on. He comes on stage. He's standing there next to Ferry Corsten, and he's like, Ferry Corsten's walked off, and Armin fucking presses play on his first track, and the clouds part, and the sun just beams, and like literally, like if you've been to Stereosonic or Futures in Gold Coast, it's fucking massive. But the one part where Armin was playing, that whole area in front of the stage, all the way back, like the entire crowd that was facing him, the sun just beamed through, and I'm like, fuck, I got goosebumps.
There's divine intervention.
We were just like, bah.
There's just nothing. I don't think I'm rude in saying I think festival culture in Australia is dead. People can try and say it isn't.
Oh, man.
People
I
can
agree.
try and say it isn't,
I
and
agree.
you can try and revive it. And I understand there's people with skin in the game that want it to be a thing. It's not the same. Festivals in Australia, bro, used to be fucked. I've been to the best festival in the world, and it does not compare slightly to fucking Future Music or Stereosonic. It just doesn't, because it was so focused. In Tomorrowland, you're fucking so overwhelmed as an Aussie. You're like, there's drugs everywhere, they're cheap, there's a million stages. I didn't even go to another stage. I was on the main stage for 3 days at Aussie Hill.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, we had a culture that was fucking... Like, it was... You could compete. I honestly, like...
Australian party culture is unmatched. I've been all around the world. No one can drink like us. No one can party like us.
I agree with that.
There is countries that... Bro, at Tomorrowland, there's Aussie Hill. A whole hill where if you're Australian and you lost, you just go there. There's thousands of Aussies. Aussie flags everywhere. Fucking ziz-looking cunts fucking everywhere. And I just went there straight away. You meet your people, you get drugs, like, and every other country are just watching you, like, what the fuck?
You're Australian?
These cunts are fucking creatures. Like, no one can binge drink. It's the binge drinking. It's
And
like, because in Europe, they'll drink 20 beers, but they'll do it over 10 hours. Aussies will cram that bitch into fucking 40 minutes in. We have to.
So true, man. I agree.
I just want to put this song. The whole podcast is going to get demonetized because of this. But I just really want to put this guided relaxation song on because I haven't heard it for years.
I want to hear it, man.
Wait. This is actually, backstory. The best night out I've ever had in South Australia. Are you familiar with Borgor?
I don't think so.
Borgor's a DJ. He's a dubstep DJ.
Yep.
And do you remember Apple Bar?
Are you talking Adelaide?
Yes.
Nah, look, I spent my time in Sydney.
On Rundle Street.
Oh, Apple Bar. Was that?
There's
is it
a
the gay club?
bar.
Yeah.
But it used to be called Apple, and it's got like a...
I do remember.
Sky, not a sky. It's got like 2 floors and then the hole in the second floor so you can see the bottom floor. Borgor came to Apple Bar once, and he was flicking pingers out to people. And it was like 1,000 people over capacity, and it was just fucked. This cunt is like his music was made for like the peak of dubstep, but this just fucking, he was a massive dubstep artist, but I haven't heard this song for a very long time.
We're gonna go back.
We're going back. Fuck, when he played this at fucking Apple Bar, dude, I fell in love with 7 people. You know, that's the thing EDM does to you, though.
100%. We need to bring it back.
I think EDM's back. I don't know if kids listen. My nieces don't listen to EDM.
The problem, I fucking...
Oh, here you go. I just was a 15-year-old kid staring at a screen. It's very jarring from memory. How fucking violent is that?
Did you ever listen to Excision?
I used to love Excision, bro.
When they brought out their yearly mix?
Excision and Sub Focus were my boys. I used to love Excision.
I
and
wasn't
Sub
big on
Focus,
dubstep, man, because I think I was like, my heart was trance.
You like
hard
trance,
trance,
but same as me, I guess. Yeah, trance would have to be the one.
Trance, I think that's your number one. Like for me, that's my number one. Like house, progressive, all like.
Do you know what's hard with trance? In my core now, I'm a metalhead. I love metal, but much like metal, there's elitists in the culture.
Yeah.
And there's so many subcultures, and if you misgender a subculture, you are fucking fucked, bro. Like, I remember when I was listening to metal, I was like, yeah, this is heavy metal. No, it's actually deathcore. But then you listen to, oh, this is EDM. No, it's actually fucking hard trance. Or it's actually fucking like psytrance. I hate psytrance, and I hate drum and bass. I hate it.
It's got a place, man. It's got a place. You find yourself a hippie rave, man, and you'll be like...
I hate it. I hate I hate repetitiveness because I'm fucking autistic. I need a fucking, like... I need something different.
Yeah.
But, like, like, it's hard to enter the EDM community sometimes, much like the metal community, because there's these elitists at the top. It's like, you can't fucking... It's not that. It's a hard thing to enter.
It is, man. The music industry is fucking terribly hard. In general. It is very hard to enter into, and I think even with production and that sort of stuff, because, like, it's who you know. I've seen boys make some cool tracks and whatnot, and it still comes down to who you know. Because you can submit that sort of stuff, or you could ask for help, or you could like fuck man ran for some big circles of people. I met like I met Timmy Trumpet when he just started with fucking.
Get fucked! I love
when
Timmy.
When he first started with the Stafford Brothers. Like he came to Discovery.
Oh, the Stafford Brothers! Oh my god!
How good were they, man? They were fucking unreal, dude.
Oh my god! They used to play at HQ fucking every second week.
That's what I felt like a dub.
Timmy Trump. The Melbourne bounce is the best thing to happen to Australian fucking EDM.
But like that culture's gone, man. You know, I said it a long time ago, and because I was DJing in Darwin when I was in the military, and when I got out of the military to pursue it because I left military and I was like 100% employed doing DJing through Darwin. So it was like Thursday through to Sunday, I was working. The rest of the week, I was off. So it was I was living a pretty cool lifestyle. I was just DJing and looking after the artists. So fucking cool times, man. But like what I said was the drug culture. So like the pills weren't coming up as much. That whole sort of thing kind of helped kill, because you do an EDM.
Well, now shit's laced with fentanyl.
Well, it makes you scared, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
I wouldn't take 10 googs now.
No.
I wouldn't take 4.
Like, it's scary, man. But the thing was, what I said is, like, you can't do an EDM night because people don't have the stamina for that. They don't have the mindset, and the clubs aren't going to like that because everyone's drinking waters.
If you're gonna
taking drugs,
if you're gonna party like proper party, you need 2 days.
yeah,
Like you
agree.
You actually need 3 because you need the 3rd day to kind of recover if you want to go to work. Like
Yeah,
when I look at my nieces and they're like, "Oh, we went out and we had 7 drinks." I'm like, sick.
I've had 7 now.
Yeah.
We're just chatting.
What do you reckon? Like, obviously, you love fucking trance. What is your song? I've something about I Could Be the One, but I think Calvin Harris. I could be the one to make you feel that way. I could be the one to set you free. That just fucking. Or Don't You Worry, Child by Swedish House Mafia. It's just so. EDM is so situational.
It is.
And it's very...
It's momentary, man.
It's momentary because that song, 18, 19, 20, I was there.
Yeah.
Like, I was there for that.
When it first comes out and you first hear it, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Much like we were talking about Michael Jackson before. When Beat It came out, it means a lot less to me than it did my sister. Because when Beat It came out, or fucking Thriller,
you're like,
that would have been, I've never heard this.
What the fuck is this?
What's yours?
Dude, I have to be honest, man. I don't have one because DJing gave me so many different feelings and emotions with music and different styles. Like when I was playing in Darwin, the Sunday sesh was cool because it was real housey, and I loved playing the real house sets for the people and to hype them up and getting through the night. But then when I was doing clubs like Disco, Discovery in Darwin, it was... You had to, and we're going back to the puppeteering, you had to control the crowd. And how that looks is you get people dancing because you've got to get people in the door and liking the music. And then you've got to get the people who are on the dance floor to the bar to buy drinks. And you've got to bring the people who are sitting down to the dance floor. And then you've got to rotate that. So you've got to do R&B, you've got to do commercial, you've got to do a little bit of trance, like commercial, really commercial trance stuff. And you got to puppeteer that, so you got to keep working the cycle to make sure that people are going to the bar and spending money. Because if you just get people dancing,
There's a lot to think about.
100%. So it's not. I'm not thinking about. I'm thinking about how to give people the best time possible, but also how to make sure that the venue gets revenue.
Is Show Me Love the greatest 90s banger of all time?
Yeah, Mervyn Master, man. Man, you know what? Mervyn Master is probably one of my favorite dudes to catch up with, because when he like. I don't know if you've ever met him, he's a doctor, right? He's like a qualified doctor. He's
Show Me Love.
He's the coolest dude. But when he brought that track out, and every time I see him, every time he plays it, it was the coolest thing. He'd get his keyboard out and he'd be like, cool, man. Yeah.
There's those tracks that it's just the first. It's literally the first 12 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah, you
They're the
play
ones.
a couple of keys to a song and you get everyone hooked. I play Macarena mixed in with the Lion King.
It's
And there's like bounce it into fucking Macarena and stuff like that, just to have some fun. So you create memories like that. So honestly, I can't give you a track that I could pinpoint and say this is my number one, because I've got too many, man.
There's this one track by Quinton San Silva. Oh, it's called Epic, and they remix it. Dun 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 dun. But they remix it with that fucking song, The Way You Kissed Me. Cause you changed the way you kissed me. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, bro, Quinton. Oh, this one fucking beat. I won't put it on because we're fucking hammering it on now. But that one beat if I was outside smoking area in fucking HQ, I'd run in and grab a 10-pack.
Or you're straight to the dance floor and you're loving it. And that's what, fuck, man, I used to love that because you get people come up and they're like, man.
It's a shame that my kid won't experience that because he won't.
No.
Because now you go, don't get me wrong, we used to get into mischief, we used to get into fights, but no one ever got stabbed to death when I was in town.
No.
Oh, I seen it, but in my friend group, personally, I never went out and a knife was pulled.
Actually, in Sydney, we had a few of that. We had some guy's arm get chopped off outside of the day club.
That's kind of understandable.
Fuck you. But yeah, it's man. Like I understand that, but I think back to it. There's no super clubs.
House parties.
There's no house parties.
There's, bro, house parties. In my opinion, now that I've grown older, I will never. This is my favorite thing to do, like this here with my friends, like just drinking, chatting,
talking shit, man.
Whatever. I love pubs. That's my jam. Like I love a pub now.
That feels like it's fucking slowly going away,
it's dying.
Sitting
at
the bar having a drink.
Day drinking.
My favorite thing is walking up to when I used to travel when I was a sales rep and when I was doing brand management and stuff like that. I get sent away and go in different states and whatnot, and then you just go to a pub and you sit at the bar or a really cool bar
and someone talks to you
and you chatting to the bartender. You're like, hey, what's that bottle up there? Can I check it out? Like, it's so social, and
everyone's
it goes back to social media.
Everyone's abrupt now. Yeah. It's like, fuck off.
I don't want to talk to you. People don't want to connect with people.
No,
which is that's what killed EDM, man. That's what kills the clubs. Like super clubs are gone. Where's the super club here? Gone.
I believe HQ on West Terrace. I'm not just dick riding Adelaide. I think that was the biggest club in the Southern Hemisphere at one point.
I think it was.
Because it was 4,500 capacity.
Was it really?
To my knowledge. Mm-hmm. Bro, that place, if you lived in Adelaide, you don't realise how special that place was.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like,
I hear that.
It was fucking insane. It was just a playground for mischief.
Because DJ Flash that used to work there and then DJ UK, they came up to... They were up in Darwin, and that's when I got into Discovery.
It was the spot. Will Sparks.
They used to work down at fucking HQ, man.
Fucking Stafford Brothers, fucking Timmy Trumpet every weekend, every week. Because in Adelaide, we didn't have an excess of spots like you guys. Yous had options in Adelaide. I couldn't get into half the clubs because I was an ethnic.
Or you dressed a little bit different.
Or mohawk. Yeah. You had like the wog mohawk. Couldn't get in.
Even tattoos, man. What the fuck?
Tattoos.
It's crazy.
But we will leave it there. I give you an open invitation whenever the fuck you come back. You are allowed on here. Anytime you want. But I really appreciate you coming on. As much as you hate it, I do appreciate your service.
Thank you.
And I really, really, really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. That was so much... I'm not going to say funner than I thought it was going to be, but it was like, you should never preconceive someone's like personality. You're a fucking legend.
No, 100%, man. I think that's probably the closing thing for everyone. It's just like, don't just look at the cover, man. Dig deeper into the book and find out more about people and reach out because.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Find out a lot about people.